What's up everyone, welcome back. My name is Justin and today we are working on Volkswagen again, showing a little bit of progress on that. So we got some footage from the week, so we're gonna cut to that footage really quick and then we'll come back and talk about it where we're at. So stay tuned. Okay, you guys saw where we were for the week. So on the back here, this is all done. We got this whole frame rail put in. Lines up really nice. You can see all the gaps. I mean, it's really nice fit, this whole corner. If you go back and watch some of the previous videos, you remember this whole area was just a hole. You could stick your hand all the way through into the car. So that is really nice just knowing that that's all done. But this whole part of the car is all finished up. Looks really good. And the inside's also done on both sides. You can see our welds all through up there. And the welds, if you open up the trunk here, there's the new welds and they line up right. I mean, you can see there's an old weld right there. Like these line up right on line. So that fits really nice on the inside. You can see our welds along here and here. And if you look, you can see all the existing welds from the old frame rail on both of these. So these line up perfectly. I mean, the welds are all in the exact same spot on both sides. Frames are all in. We did measure, so this hole here where the body bolts, there's one on each side. Those were measured using this guy. This was measured when the old frames were in. It's 103 centimeters. No, 102 centimeters. And it lines up, you can see our measurement right there. It lines up exactly how the original one did. So we know those frame rails are down to the millimeter in the exact same distance apart. They're perfect. The reason we never measured the front, in case you're wondering, if you've been following along, we didn't measure these front bolt holes because they weren't there. Completely rusted out. There was nothing to measure. But we did get those Karmann ghia parts that we talked about in a previous video bolted in. So we have the center section off of a pan in. And then we have the side rails. And the bolt holes on the side rails line up exactly how the pans line up. So those bolts are in the right spot. And it has this right inside shape. This is a big gap because we've actually cut this all the way up. But that lines up perfect. Two things that are different. On a Karmann ghia, this lip goes down. On a thing, it's supposed to come up. So we got to cut that off and bring this up instead on both sides. And also, let me go over here. I'll show you guys something that we did have to modify. So this side has not been modified yet. You can see how the mounting surface steps down. And you can see it sits lower all the way around because it steps down. So one thing we had to do, because that's how a Karmann ghia is, but not a thing. We had to do a couple changes for that. So it's hard to see, but we did actually cut it. We cut it right on that line, raised that whole section of pan up, and then tacked it back in. You can see how well it lines up all the way around. I mean, it's right where it needs to be. So that's all in there. And then up here in the front, we got this all put in. And this gives us these boxes that, if you remember from previous video, were completely rusted out on both sides. So this will, once we get this sides in, we'll be able to replace this panel. But so that's where we're at. The rear of the car is done. The only thing we have left to do on the rear is a couple of these have some rust in them up through here. But we're kind of tired of the back of the car. We're gonna take a break on that. So we're gonna jump forward at this point, and we're gonna work on these here. Once we get those done, then this rocker panel can go in for good. We can get these door gaps set for good. And once this is all set, then we can go to that rocker panel over there, get that one fixed. Once that one's done, we will finish these front corners up. And then last thing to do on the car, other than fix the wheel wells, this piece, the front nose, and the whole front fender has to come off. You can see there's a lot of damage through there. This pillar inside this is very rusted, so this whole corner's got to come out. But that's the plan for now. That's where we're at on the car. So stay tuned. We're gonna keep making some progress on it. But I'm really happy with where we got. These frame rails turned out really good. You can't even tell they were redone. Honestly, I think they look better than they did originally. They fit cleaner. There's no gaps. I think they look better than they did. And if you want to argue that we replaced them or cut them out and they're not original, they're the exact measurements. We know they are. There's no difference between them. And those are NOS parts. So they're still original VW rails. These rockers are also NOS. So we just got to fit the Karmann ghia stuff. And that's, you know, we didn't want to go that route. We wanted to find some real Volkswagen THING stuff, which they don't exist. So we're trying to find some that were cut out, but they just don't exist. So Karmann ghia was the route we had to go. It's the most promising route we've had so far, and it looks like it's gonna work. So other than that, overall, I'm happy with the car. On the last video, I know I said we were at 98 subscribers and I wanted to hit 100. I think we're up to 103, so thank you for that. You guys got us up over 100. That's a huge milestone for me. I didn't really know if anyone would watch these videos, but I'm really happy. Thank you guys, and we will see you next week. See you later.